Good day.
Good day.
That was a hell of a start right there. All right, that's my intro now. Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and a Matt and Jeff hearty welcome to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. We lost Bismarck Key a few days ago, and he was way too young at 57. But if there's a God in the sky, then he's got what he needs up in heaven. Have no fear, though. This show, like Celine Dion's heart, will go on. Today, we'll give Mason about 3 fuck yous and 1 to grow on. We'll debate popcorn's origin and honey buns and all the typical topics. And we'll wish that we had half of what's inside political pockets. We'll play a game, read a meme, pick a subject to debate, and poke a little fun at some people we don't hate. So buckle up, settle in, turn the volume on your speakers up to 10. Today may finally be the day Tom admits he's into men. Tommy fucking Washington, what's been up, man? How are you?
How am I, Pat?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Pat, how do you think
How
I'm
you doing?
How do you think I'm doing?
I think you're doing great.
Pat, it has been nothing but a shit show with this goddamn computer since I got here.
Yeah, but I haven't caused any of your grief,
No,
so
you haven't.
I just
You know
assume
who
you're
did?
doing well.
You know who did?
I think this blame is somehow going to fall on Mason.
It's on 100% Mason's fault.
I
don't know why.
Are we starting with 1?
I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you, Mason. He's probably not even watching the show anyway.
That's 1.
But nevertheless,
Do you think that okay, so here's what happened. We'll fill everybody in. The computer's running a wee bit laggy. It's still doing what we need it to do.
but
It's
it's
just
extremely
slow.
slow. It's not operating.
What do you think that Mason did to slow the
I don't
computer
know.
down?
I don't know. I see that
You
OBS
think you put
is
like
all
bubble
fucked
gum
up.
in the
There's
processor?
extra like audio inputs for some reason in OBS. I don't know what the fuck he did. All I know is this is what I do know, Pat. That the audio from this show today is going to be better than the 3 previous shows that Mason did.
Well, who knows?
All from this recording studio.
Yeah, looking at the lines, the little recording lines, they're much more even already. I can see that.
Yeah, it's
They're,
because
like,
I don't
more
have him fucking
compact.
bouncing up and down. You're not higher than me. It's all fixed, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But anyway, other than that, I'm pretty good. Here we are. We got a real official logo on the TV screen
You're
today.
goddamn right we do.
Which is nice. I
Looking
like it.
beautiful.
I think we should switch it through all our different logos, like through like every episode we do down here. We do a different logo because we have a few of them.
Yeah, we can do that.
You know what I mean? Like do my personal favorite's the black one.
Oh, see that the one that's on there is my personal favorite because God knows,
You like the blue.
if God didn't love the Tar Heels, he wouldn't have made the sky blue. You know what I'm saying?
Who's the target?
The North Carolina Tar Heels.
All right.
Their color is sky blue.
Okay. So anything else going on, Pat?
Whew. Went to a wrestling show last night. A little NEW action, Northeast Wrestling, which is it's they do them in like high school gyms. This particular one was at a police action league, so it's a small building. When dudes chop each other in the chest, it echoes off the walls. It's awesome. I had a pro wrestler record a promo for one of our coworkers who said he was going to be at the show, but then bailed.
Surprise.
Turns out they went to high school together. So when I was there, I grabbed the wrestler and was like, "Hey man, this kid was supposed to be here. He flaked at the last minute. I want you to talk some shit." And he was like, "Say no more." And he did a great job recording a little 10-second promo. So I had a good time. Miss Elizabeth had a good time. Went with some friends.
Good time was had by all. Is
I will
basically
say,
what you're saying.
yeah. Well, no, not exactly. So my brother went, Tony, and he brought one of his buddies. They left about an hour in. They actually rode with me and Miss Elizabeth and took an Uber to get the fuck out of there. He was like, "This is not fun. This is awful."
Really?
Yeah. Which I've been to about, I'm going to say 50 of these shows. I've never had somebody leave in the middle of it. So, it's bound to happen one day.
I guess. No, Tony's not a big wrestling fan.
No, Tony hates wrestling.
So why would he agree to go to a wrestling show?
I don't know. And here's the thing. We had this conversation before Michael came to town. I said to Tony, I never invite you to anything because we don't like the same stuff. Because he was like, I would have done that, whatever it was, whatever thing I hadn't invited him to. I was like, I never invite you anywhere because I just always assume it's a no. And he was like, well, you could at least invite me. I'm like, all right, cool.
Hey, either I'm tripping face or that microphone's going to hit you in the chest. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, she's falling down.
It could be because it's not tight in the back there.
It sure is because of that. I'll fix that. Oh, it's coming down faster and faster. But yeah, so he came, he left. It is what it is.
All right. Well, we got one piece of mail. If you want to, we can start that while you're fixing your microphone.
Perfect.
All right, cool. You say he's just a friend.
It's a sticker. He sticks on in there. Grabs a hold of you.
Oh, baby, you got what I need.
Ugh.
Did you unmute your shit?
Not yet. Tried.
Do me first. Turn the gain all the way up, too.
Gains up, bro.
All right, cool.
Gains up, hose down.
Yeah, it's up, face down. All right, so we got one piece of mail, and it came in from the horrible, horrible Mason. Pat, you want to read this, or you want me to?
I will read it. I didn't even see this because you had moved it when I was sent out the timeline.
But you had it in the timeline that Mason sent in mail.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, you know what Mason sent in was the hold on. I'm looking. You know what? I don't remember what Mason sent in.
Well, this is it. This is what I got from
Okay.
Mason sending it.
So it's an email from Mason. Says, "Hey guys, couldn't watch live on Wednesday, but thought I'd use this time to give you some feedback. First, yes, I did have a bit of a hard time controlling the volume. Not sure
That's
why.
big of a hard time.
It does. Not sure why, but it seemed to jump a lot. Second, does anyone find it odd that the number of downloads goes up when the most electrifying guest co-host is there for a week and a half? Just saying. Oh, that's excellent. Did the number of downloads go up?
Yeah, but we know why the number of downloads went up. It had nothing to do with you.
I believe it actually had to do with a buddy of mine.
Yes, that's exactly what it
Not
had
to be
do with.
confused with Mason. Coincidentally, a
'Cause
different buddy.
Mason is none of our buddies.
But you'll continue to see that trend with downloads as we make a little more effort to get some downloads weekly, because we're trying to make the jump to the next.
The next phase. like I
Holy
said.
shit, ladies and gentlemen! New father and handsome son of a bitch, Trevor Berry, just joined the show.
What is up, dog? What are you saying oof about, dude? You talking about my fat gut? Yeah.
I think it was about you burning Mason.
Oh, it could be that too. But I look extremely fat
Trevor,
when we record the podcast here.
I don't know how much of this you've missed, but Biz Markie died, buddy. I don't know if
True.
Trevor knows who Biz Markie is.
Everybody knows who he is. Baby, you got what I need. Everybody knows that guy.
Tom knows who Biz Markie is now because I sang him that song after I told him he died.
He said, "What?"
Yeah, it sucks, man. 57 years old. Just too young.
57 years young.
It's the fact. 57 years young.
57 years dead.
Yeah, he gone, which sucks.
Yeah.
So we jumped into mail time. Are we going to jump out of mail time now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have. We don't know the.
No, motherfucker. On the timeline, it says from Mason. It tells us what's from Mason.
I don't have my iPad. in my hand.
Oh, good thing you bought that.
So what's from Mason?
So Mason sent us an article. The headline of the
Who's
article.
us? Because he did not send it to the email. So maybe he sent you the article.
He sent it to the number 9 with Tommy. What's it called when you slide into somebody's DMs?
Twitter,
No.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. What? Oh, Messenger. Facebook
Facebook
Messenger.
Messenger?
Jeez, I am old. Yeah, he sent it to the Facebook Messenger, which I don't know if you're aware. You actually have access to that.
Hold on, real quick. Trevor asked what the cause of death was. We are not sure, but we're pretty sure it's because he was extremely overweight and it was heart related.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I'm going heart attack. He's a big boy. He always was a big boy.
Pat, could you do me a favor real quick before we go any further and just
Who
grab
dat?
me that iPad over there so I can see what's going on?
Hold on. You just said you don't have your iPad, but in fact, your
I don't-
iPad
I don't have it
is
in my
about
hand.
4 feet from where you're
what
sitting.
I said was I don't have it in my hands.
I'm going to go ahead and lean forward. All right. Tom, you want to time me?
Un, dos, tres, cuatro,
Okay, here you
cinco,
go.
seis. All right. See, but if I were to do that, I wouldn't have reached that far. I would have fell. It would have been all awful.
Oh my God, you would have Matt Foleyed through this table in front of us? That would have been
Hey,
great.
Pat texted me about an hour ago.
Oh, perfect. What did Pat want?
Probably his coffee.
That's probably what it was. So anyways, Mason sent us an article. The title of the article, a woman was finally arrested after she stopped at a McDonald's drive-thru for chicken nuggets in the middle of a 2-hour police chase.
Get the fuck out of here.
The woman was arrested at McDonald's drive-thru window in Worcester, Mass. For the record, that is Worcester. For anybody who can speak the language, Worcester, Mass.
It's Worcester.
Worcester. After
This
she
would be a motherfucker from Massachusetts that would be in a police chase and be like,
I
you know
gotta get
what?
my fucking nuggets.
I gotta get my nuggets.
It's gonna be hot as fuck being in jail with no nuggets. I gotta get one last nugget. After she stopped there for some chicken nuggets in the middle of a wild police chase. I'm not going to use her name because she hasn't been convicted of a crime. She was being chased by the cops following reports of a stolen vehicle. The cops chased her and she refused to pull over. She drove around for 2 hours. During the chase, she ran red lights, drove in the wrong direction. She rammed into several other vehicles, including 2 police cruisers. Oh, that's fucking beautiful. The local media outlet said that a police officer was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries after she hit and dragged them. Oh, my God. She was eventually located at a McDonald's drive-thru using the truck that she had stolen, that the GPS tracker on it. That's fucking wonderful. She was ordering chicken nuggets, and they actually held her up, the McDonald's, so that the cops could get her. She tried to escape the cops, but ended up in a flower bed. She hit a cop before she was arrested. She faces 15 charges, including assault and battery by means of a dangerous weapon, probably the car itself, leaving the scene of an accident with property damage, and resisting arrest. She's being held without bail, pending a dangerousness hearing, according to the Telegram and the Gazette. She was previously arrested for dealing MDMA, crack cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl. A July 2020 press release by the Worcester Police Department shows us. That's cool, man. Just keep letting everybody out on bond as repeat offenders for the same crimes. And
She was still Bill.
yeah, that was after she was arrested for dealing MDMA, crack, heroin, and fentanyl in July of last year. She made it 12 months.
But again, here's the thing.
I saw a headline on Fox News Friday morning that a murderer was out on his 8th bail or 7th bail. It said he had been out 7 times before, so I guess he was out on his 7th bail and was arrested for murder. How many times do you have to be arrested before they stop letting you out while they're investigating?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, what are the states that do this? I know New York now is
California.
Yeah, New York, California.
California's fucking arrest and release program is essentially America's what's it called? They're catch and release for the immigration.
Yeah,
they're like, we got you. You got 30 days to get back here. Now get on your way. Give them a little pat on the butt and call it a day. Good game.
Mason, thank you for helping me turn back on my microphone.
Jesus, Mason, you talked all that shit at the beginning of the show, which I feel like Mason missed. But now Mason is actually helping us with our audio while he is not on the show today.
I would have realized that my mic was off within seconds. It was like one word that I said without my mic on.
Okay, well.
The only reason
had you already turned it back on by the time Mason said something?
I muted my shit because I respect our listeners and don't feel that they need to hear me ripping my vape.
I would offer them the same respect in my house where there's a mute button. In your house where there's not a mute button, you're just going to have to deal with it.
Well, so help yourself out. Buy another mic for downstairs.
We got a lot of investments coming into this podcast very soon.
I know, man. It's really cost me It's really cost me a lot of money.
I'm not sure that a lot of money
Hey,
is the right
listen,
word.
we haven't thrown this out there in a while, but hey, listen, if you're enjoying the product, right, and which I think you are, you guys listen every week, go ahead to number9podcast.com or number9withtommypodcast.com and hit that little donate button. Throw us some loot. You know
Matter
what I
of
mean?
fact, Mason and Trevor, who are both signed in right now to the live stream, you guys are out there having babies and buying shit for them. You got all that extra
Shit,
money.
in the
Why don't
description
you-
of the live stream, there's a link that you can go and donate to the show.
Yeah, you motherfuckers are out there, extra baby food, extra diapers, all this shit. There's some extra money.
If you do it on the show right now, it'll show up on the live stream to show everybody how much you donate.
We'll mention it. We'll make you look like a baller to the millions of fans listening at home.
Millions. All right, anyway. So I guess that's it. Dude, first off, I'm fat, man. Right? I'm fat. Let's be real. Everybody watching can see.
This is not a great camera angle for myself either. I mean, I look wider than usual.
Yes. I think Mason fucked with the camera angle and fucked it all up.
Mason, did you put on fat mode? Did you fat face us?
But there's zero chance that I would be in a police chase and feel the need to stop at McDonald's. You just were unmuted that whole time.
No, I just unmuted so I could hit the vape and then mute it again.
Okay. All right, if you say so.
What's up, Carissa?
All right.
Tom, the reason you wouldn't stop at a McDonald's, is that because you would rather a different fast food establishment? Like, would you stop at Taco Bell?
I would not. No, I would not.
The moment of hesitation. Maybe she was like, this is happening. Like, there's no effing way I'm not getting arrested.
Mason says stop eating cameras. You know, each one puts on 10 pounds.
Nice.
Pat, you know what? A place that I've been pleasantly surprised by?
What's that?
Chipotle.
Chipotle is great. I've always loved Chipotle.
I recently went there for the first time. I had Chipotle Friday night and Saturday for lunch.
I say this to people, and nobody for some reason understands me or believes me or agrees with me, whatever it is. Between Chipotle and Moe's, there is a tasteable difference. It's worth reporting. Chipotle tastes fresher. Chipotle doesn't use any additives, preservatives. They don't freeze anything, from what I understand. Maybe they freeze, but they don't. I don't know. They don't process. There's no processed meat. Chipotle is a superior product to Moe's. Then that said, I fucking love Moe's. So imagine how I feel about Chipotle. Trevor said, "Holy shit."
She knew it was gonna be a long chase, and she's goddamn hungry.
Fair, valid point.
Macy says Chipotle also owned by McDonald's, so same police chase, just different species.
I think that says spices. I gotta tell you, I can't see that screen from here.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I can always see the screen. It's very blurry today.
Yeah, it's probably because whatever Mason did
Oh my god.
to fuck this up. But
Real,
anyway,
real nice, Mason.
like everything was good before Mason came here, and I gave him a lot of props. I said he did a pretty good job, except for the audio with the show. And now I'm here, my computer's lagging like a motherfucker. Things are loading properly. It's bad. It's bad shit. And now we can't see the chat, which is the most important part of what we did.
Tom is so frustrated with what's going on that his right eye is drooping further than normal today.
Did you?
Tom, what was your favorite comic book strip as a kid? Was it Droopy? Oh, I'm sorry, that's Snoopy. Never mind.
All right, you good with that's a blast from the last cast, huh?
Tom sags his pants and his eyelids.
Pat, should I tell the story that I told you this morning about the camera?
Yes, absolutely. Hold on.
All right, let's
if you tell this story, I vote that you also prepare yourself to make a phone call live on the stream. If she answers, she answers. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But let's at least give the opportunity to ask the question. Guys, we're going to start at the end and work backwards here. Did you see Tom's dick? That's the question. Did you see Tom's dick? And now, Tom, why don't you tell us?
All right, let's get out of mail time and then we'll tell the story.
Okay. Trevor, nice of you to join us today. We appreciate that shit, man. I guess now that you're a dad, there's nothing else you could be doing other than sitting there holding a fucking
He's probably just waiting for me. Mason said, yes, it's definitely 100%. Not the 100% humidity in the swamp. I mean, basement.
Is the carpet dry?
Carpet's dry. It's beautiful down here.
I don't know what makes this up.
There's not even a smell down here except for Pat's horrible vape.
There you go. Cookie butter.
Ugh. You saw that our site's back up, by the way, right?
Didn't know our site was down.
It was like a week, but now they're running like 25, 30% off. I get an email every week.
For what? 25% off what?
Your entire order.
Oh, the merch?
I meant our shoot.
I thought you meant our fucking site.
No, not our site.
No, I gotta tell you.
I'm not giving any fucking discounts. These guys don't buy anything. Mason's over there ordering himself fucking hats and shit. Didn't get me shit for the bearded gamer. The bearded gamer. He's not even a gamer anymore. I don't know why you represent that hat. You should burn it. But anyway, he's never once bought anything off our fucking site to support the number 9 podcast.
Hashtag super free ad. This is the most comfortable hat I own. I fucking love this hat. It's wonderful. Mason, I gotta find out where you got this hat so I can make some number 9 hats out of it.
I know exactly where you got him. Maybe that's something that I'll work on in the near future. I've been trying to do it, but because I'm the producer of the show, I'm the outputter of the show, I'm the merch guy, I'm the website guy, I'm the fucking main content creator of the show.
Are you high?
All right, that's maybe the only thing that I don't do is create all the content.
Oh, perfect. There you go. So I'm the content of the show, and you do the shit in the background. You're the geek, bro.
Well, I have to do all that. It's a lot of work. It's more than just sitting here for an hour and a half talking about, have you seen Tom's dick?
I've heard, oh, you motherfucker, I'm muted. I've heard this worn out diatribe for the last 12 months about how much work you do. Mason came in, spent 5 minutes getting the show ready, and went right into streaming. And I gotta tell you, it sounds like you've been blowing up your own spot here. Just like about how much you do. Mason comes in. He stopped in the middle of what he was doing. He slicked his hair back like Danny Zuko.
Hold on. How come we're not recording this right now?
I mean, technically we are.
No, we're recording it. All right. So while we were putting in the audio, Pat and I have gotten into a little discussion about how much work actually goes into the show. And then he wanted to throw out that Mason was here for 5 minutes before the show, got it up and running, and I'm just tooting my own horn, blah, 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 blah.
I feel like you're really under-glorifying. Tom said he does all the editing, does all the producing, posts it all, does all the advertising, and he creates all the content. And then that's what Tom said.
And then I said, okay, Pat helps with the content. That's the only thing that Pat helps with. And then he said that I've been blowing myself up.
You are correct. Who wrote the advertisements?
Okay, you wrote them.
What did you do?
I fucking recorded them.
Hey, you hit the button. Okay. Tommy, hit the button.
Listen, this is all I'm saying.
Hey, that beautiful logo.
Hold on.
Was that your sister-in-law that made that? Did you hunt somebody down to find that logo?
You didn't fucking do it either, motherfucker.
I found somebody who was professional, who was capable, and I made it happen.
Listen, this is all I'm
Shout out to my Takaya.
Hold on. Back to what I was saying, though. You were saying how easy Mason made it, blah, 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 blah.
I'm telling you, Mason did this.
The only email we got while I was gone was from a listener who said the quality was lacking when Mason was doing it.
Oh, no doubt that the 12 months experience that you have is invaluable to the podcast. I'm not shitting on you.
We haven't been doing this for 12 months.
Okay, the 11 months?
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. I was off by 1/12. That was worth correcting.
August 6th is our birthday, wasn't it?
I definitely thought you were going to say anniversary. It got real gay for a second. You brought it back in. Thank you.
How did it get real gay? I didn't say anything.
Well, in my head, you were getting gay immediately.
Well, let's see. Mason said, I have a number 9 hat. I can order you guys. Oh. How's that water bottle, Tom? Oh, I never used it.
Time out. You got a fucking water bottle?
Tom made it very easy for me just to come in and grab the reins. And somehow you still fucked it up.
Tom, you're over here shitting on everybody, taking everybody's credit, and we're both trying to be nice to you.
I didn't take anybody's credit.
You said you created all the content and did all the advertising, you piece of shit.
I never said advertising. You threw that in there. I never said anything about advertising.
I will happily go back and watch the live. You know what? Let's not do it. Tom, Trevor and Mason, Carissa, did Tom mention that he was the advertising department as well?
I did not. By the way, Chipotle had a bunch of
coronavirus.
Cases and had to pay $25 million fine in 2018. I don't think that's happening to most.
No, what happened, what he's referring to is when we had those fucking mass power outages. I don't know if you remember that. The problem was Chipotle, their shit is all super fresh. Well, what happens when you buy salad and frozen burgers? Which one's going to last longer? So their food, I think they tried to salvage what was left of it.
No, I mean, they had E. coli.
Yeah, so the places that didn't get E. coli have all kinds of shit in their food because
But this was a
Chipotle-
national thing. This wasn't just local. It wasn't like one.
that
area.
depends. If the power outages were local to where this shit is coming from, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but their food problem was national. It was all over the place.
Was it national?
Yes.
I think the headlines were national. I don't know how many places
It
really
was,
ran into the problem.
It was nationally.
But I remember it was an issue of freshness, and it's because their shit is so fresh.
He said Nonavirus, not Corona.
Yeah, I figured that out when he read 2018.
Novavirus.
Nova virus.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I think it's a fancy word for E. coli. Anyway, back to my story.
I don't disagree.
So, while I was gone, my friend Moody, who we've asked to be on the show multiple times,
She has
And-
bailed on us multiple times.
yes, she watched my my fur babies while I was on vacation. She also watched my house for me. Very nice of her. She did a wonderful job. Can't thank her enough. But recently, we have bought a doggy cam because one of my dogs has been getting into the trash, and we didn't know which one, right? Because we leave them both out. So we had this doggy cam set up in our kitchen. While we were gone, we gave it to Moody and told her to set it up in the basement because she wanted to watch the dogs while she was at work. Novavirus is from
Go back.
Angels.
Tell your story.
Yeah, Jesus. Why you get? Come on, Mason. Shut up. Fuck you, Mason. So anyway, so she set it up in the basement. We gave her access to her phone on it. No big deal. We get home. We set it back up in our kitchen so we can wash the trash can. And this morning, feeling pretty good. You know, my wife was in like a little. I don't want to call it.
It was
I
a
think-
nightie. She was in a nightie.
I think it's more of a thing that she would wear over her bathing suit at the beach. But she's wearing it this morning around the house that she's not naked.
Okay.
And you know, just want to show my wife some loving. You know, kissed her a little bit, maybe went up behind her, rubbed on her a little bit. And no big deal. Then we're over in our kitchen, so my bathroom is next to my kitchen, so you can see the bath. But I had the door open in the bathroom and stuff because I was putting on clothes, and there was no penetration. I think I should throw it out there. Like we didn't really have the intercourse or the coitus. So then we're over in my kitchen at like the island, and I'm about to lift up her shirt and maybe play with her boobs a little bit. You know what I mean? Give her a little. And she goes, "Oh, stop the camera!" And I'm like, "Fuck me."
Just to be clear, that would be the camera that they gave Moody access to just before vacation.
Yes, and it's motion censored, so when something's happening in front of it, it turns on. So
It's not
I'm
the
like-
only thing that turned on.
So I'm sitting there thinking, you know, I get up in the morning, I take a shower, and if I don't have clothes in my room, I run down to my downstairs bathroom where my washer and dryer is, and I grab some clothes. Well, I'm running by that camera in the morning, butt ass fucking naked.
Butt booty naked, like a button on a fur coat, just sitting there under his belly.
So we're gonna call Moody right now, and I'm not gonna say, "Hey, have you seen me naked?" What I'm gonna say is, "Hey, did you delete that off your phone?"
I just see, and this is just me picturing. I've remarkably, after living with you for 16 months, being friends for 16 years, I've never seen your penis. But I assume it's like a hot dog in a cornfield.
I would like to keep it that way, Pat. That we don't see each other.
You know, it's like a hot dog in a wheat field.
I don't know. That's what's meant.
Do you manscape? I don't see you as a manscaper.
I don't. Yeah, of course.
I see your pubic region completely concealing your flaccid penis. Maybe when you pop a boner, you know, like it kind of stands out like a scarecrow.
It just comes out enough.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that, bro.
Like I assume sex for you mats down your pubes.
You think?
I think you're gross. That's what I think.
Pat, I have a wife that I love very much. I take care of it for her.
Okay.
Am I on top of it like every day type shit or once a week? Probably not, but you know, I take care of it.
Let's be real. We do share a similar problem, and that is it's hard as fuck to manscape with this big ass belly.
Facts.
Remember when you were young and manscaping was a simple, like, all right, let's trim this bad boy up real quick. Maybe give him some sideburns. Like now.
It was like a 30-second ordeal.
Yeah, now I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a razor to the ball sack. I'm going to razor the shaft. I'm going to use the electric trimmers all around that area and I hope I don't miss patches. If I miss a couple of hairs, I don't really feel bad. But if I miss patches, well, then you just have like a big bushy red fucking just like staring you in the face if you're down there. So I do my best, but I got to tell you, I can't see what I'm doing other than some mirror tricks like a fucking magician.
All right, so let's see if she answers real quick.
Again, this is Moody, Tom's friend Moody, who has bailed on the show so many times. Something tells me she's sleeping. It's 11 o'clock on a Sunday.
I believe she went to New York to visit family.
Well, then she should be up.
She should be. But who knows? She also never answers my phone calls. Only text.
I think... No, that's okay. In order to show her the importance, call her one more time. So she's like, oh, this must be a big deal. Which it obviously is not, but we want her on the podcast.
You're a horrible person.
Well, we're going to make her think there's an emergency.
Maybe I'll just shoot her a text when I call me stat.
Mason put on there, this podcast is brought to you by the new Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. It should be.
Maybe one day.
Wow. What, remember when Moody used to actually like you? That was fun.
All right, I sent her a text that says, call me stat. So anyway, so yes, that's where we're at. You want to get into the rest of the podcast now, Pat?
I sure do.
Which one do you want to do first? You want to do the political meme or the...
Roses are red, sandwiches grilled.
All right, so we got this one right here.
All right, Tom, to preface this, because something tells me you're not up to date on your Beatles history. This isn't even really Beatles history, it's John Lennon history. There was a time during the Vietnam War that John Lennon and Yoko Ono opened their home, windows, doors, they opened their home to the general public. It was during a hit song called Give Peace a Chance, which you've heard. What they did was they said they have so much faith in humanity in this awful time, right? The Vietnam War. It's a dreadful time in history, not just for America, but I mean, really worldwide. It was a bad look. They opened their home and they said, we will not eat. We will not do anything without the love of our fellow people. And people brought them breakfast, lunch, dinner. They came, they interviewed them, and John Lennon and Yoko Ono never left their bed for a week. It was a peace sit-in. So that brings us to this meme, which is fairly recent. And the article reads, Roses are red, sandwich is grilled. Millennial couple bikes through ISIS territory to prove humans are kind and gets killed. So not exactly the same outcome that Lennon and Yoko had. So not only did Yoko kill the Beatles, she also killed this couple bikers. Unfortunate outcome for two people who are trying to do...
You know what
I don't want to say the right thing. Trying to prove that the world is not as bad as we're making it out to be.
Well, see, but that's from... At that point, you're just fucking naive.
Not only that. Like, if you and I want to prove that racism doesn't exist, I don't think that we would start in downtown Compton, like throwing up gang signs to be funny.
Yeah.
That's not...
Yeah, I'm not gonna
That's
start.
not how you prove that racism doesn't exist. And fucking backpacking through ISIS territory... Probably not how you can prove humans are kind.
Yeah, because those humans, I hate to tell you, want to see all Western civilization dead.
Now, there is the Cannonball Run. Are you familiar with the Cannonball Run?
No idea.
It's like a course that goes from upstate New York all the way to California. People drive it. They go for the best times. It's decades old. It's an age-old story. As soon as cars existed, people have been making this run to see how fast they could do it. And you'll put like 4 people in the car, and you never stop driving. Like, they build makeshift bathrooms. They bring food with them. It's a fun thing. If this couple had bike ridden the Cannonball Run and, made it, if they said, we're doing it with no money, people will feed us, we'll prove it. People will feed us. People will let us use their facilities to shower and use the bathroom. That's a great way to say humans are kind because they'd have a ton of good stories by the time they got to California. If you go to ISIS,
Pat, I just had an idea.
we're not doing the Cannonball Run, Tom.
We should do the Cannonball Run with no money.
That's a terrible idea, Tom.
Why is that a terrible idea?
Because the bikers got killed.
You think we're going to get killed?
I don't think we're going to get killed. I think that we might lose weight. And what if people don't recognize me, Tom?
I thought you said we were driving a car.
Yeah, we are.
What's the problem?
It's a long fucking drive.
From here to California?
Yeah.
It's 4 days. It's not even
You're
4 days.
actually just reiterating my point back to me.
It's
That's
not 4
4
days.
days of driving.
You can drive to California in 48 hours. It's 2 days straight.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
I bet you we could do it.
I'm sure we could do it.
It's like a long weekend, and we could prove that people are decent people.
I'll tell you what. I never intend to go to California, but in the event that I do, let's do the Cannonball flight.
How about, but Pat, what I'm saying is, think of the content that we would, and we could push home our thing of love thy neighbor. We can explain to them what we're doing. We have a podcast, and we want to prove that people in the general sense are decent people. So we decided to get in my 2017 1500, drive across the country, and hope and pray that people give us gas money and food to get to California. And then we pay for our way back and make it back in 2 days.
I'm not completely against your idea, but I'm certainly not on board. You've not sold me on this idea.
Okay. Cannonball is on my bucket list. Bam! Trevor's in too.
Oh, there you go. You got something to deal with. All right.
What are you talking about?
I'll support you guys.
Maybe
locally.
we'll replace him and make him number 3.
You can't replace number 3.
Sure
Mason
I
is
can,
an
'cause-
invaluable asset to the show.
Because Trevor is more of a bearded gamer than Mason is.
Trevor doesn't have a beard.
Yes, he does.
Does he?
Yes.
Trevor doesn't have a beard.
Yes, he does.
He's baby-faced.
Sure, whatever you say. Anyway, keep going.
If Trevor has a beard, that thing's nowhere near as long as your pube beard.
Facts.
Move on to the next meme for me.
What? Anything for you, buddy? You don't think that's a good idea, though, huh?
This is the single greatest political meme in history. It's actually a tweet. And it starts with saying, Toronto City Councillor Norm Kelly. So this is his tweet. The city is currently looking into how we can extract the salt from my haters and apply it to the roads this winter. We'll keep you posted. Oh my fucking God. I don't know who Norm Kelly is. I don't know much about Norm Kelly. Apparently he's Canadian. I will say this. I would elect Norm Kelly 10 times out of 10. Solely based on this tweet. Good for you. You have deflected your salty haters, and I love it.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's beautifully done. I got nothing. When I read it, I was like, this motherfucker just fucked the
He
world,
looks
Norm
old
Kelly.
as fuck too, man. So to be coming up with some shit like that,
Oddly, this was actually so I frequently pull from the Chive if I can because I love the Chive.
the chive's still a thing.
Oh fuck yeah, the Chive's alive and well, bro. Chive's healthy. Chive's strong. But because of the changing times, there's a lot less 20s, 50s, big ass titties, and there's a lot more humor in the Chive, which is really my cup of tea, anyways. So the Chive runs these things that are like old people who are trying to stay young, and they'll have advertisements. I just showed you one, an anti-masturbation advertisement that said you'll never climb the ladder to heaven with penises in your hands.
Mason called Trevor's beard at 8 o'clock shadow.
Oh yeah, that doesn't count.
Then I don't have a beard.
No, yours is a beard.
It's the same thing that Trevor had.
Dude, Trevor has stubble. Unless Trevor has grown his beard out since the last time I saw him.
I don't know why we're hating on my boy Trevor.
I'm not hating.
But I don't appreciate it.
Not having a beard doesn't make hate.
I don't appreciate it at all.
All right, you know what, Trevor? I love your afro.
He has an afro?
Sure, if he's got a beard, he's got an afro. I mean, Trevor, your nipple piercings are the favorite part. My favorite part of your body. I love them.
Yeah, issues do.
He
So
wears a
we're gonna
chain
get
from
in.
one to
So
the
I
other.
wish I had this video that really broke down this this next segment we're gonna do. Dip, just so you know, we're moving segments away from the memes, and we're gonna get into how Floridian is that.
That's right. How Floridian is that? Is potentially the greatest segment on this show.
So this is what I can do, and I don't know how it's gonna come through because I have it on my on my phone here or on my tablet.
I say fuck that. We can direct them towards watching it if they want to watch it.
Florida mom gang banged by daughter's friends.
Well, that's a hell of a start.
Did you guys...
What that was a guy. What's the man? What the fuck is that word? When somebody talks over,
It's a
narrating.
voiceover? Yeah.
Guy's narrating a video. It's a news article. A Florida mom was gangbanged by 5 of her daughter's teenage friends. I actually, my note for the show was Florida mom bangs a quintathlon of her daughter's teenage friends at the house. So there's a house party. She ends up, she comes home. She's drinking with the kids. She's giving the kids the underage kids alcohol. She invites one of them to help her shower. She's too drunk. She wants him to help her out. So he helps her shower up. Next thing you know, she's banging 2 kids. Next thing you know, she's banging 5 kids. And the point of the news article is to say, we oftentimes see 16 and under girls get taken advantage of by grown men, and it's an absolute, it's disgusting, and it's horrifying, and that guy should be hung for it, and it's pedophilia.
Which by the way we agree with.
Yeah, absolutely. But when a very attractive or semi-attractive woman does this to 16 and under boys,
these people are also called they would fall under the category of MILFs.
Yeah,
that's cougars. MILF.
Yep, there's a lot of terms for them. Silverbacks, whatever you want to call them. You never heard of a silver fox? That's like a step above.
I've never heard of silverbacks. The only time I've heard silverback used to describe a person was in a racist way, Pat.
Oh wow, I don't even function that way. I get what you're saying though.
That's the only time I've ever. I don't use that.
That's fucked up.
That's the only way I've ever heard it used. So.
Not how I was intending to use it. No.
That's why I shut my head over and choose it. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, this isn't like where, you were using dyke as it is intended. And I was like, no, you can't do that. And you were like, wow, that's not bad. No, this is legitimately like silver fox.
I don't think.
Silver fox, cougar, MILF. So when that happens, there's actually a whole episode of South Park about it that, the kids are taken advantage of by a female teacher and the cops are on board. They're like dapping the kids. They're like, yeah, good for you, kiddo.
Yeah. Mason said, I agree with Tom. The only way I've heard that used as well.
I don't know what to tell you guys. You guys got to surround yourselves with less racist people, I guess. I don't know what to, like, you've never heard of a silver fox?
I've heard of a silver fox. I've never heard them referred to as silverbacks.
Whatever.
Unless maybe
it's live TV. What are we going to
do? Just maybe it was an African American silver fox.
Oh Jesus! Well, clearly you have taken something I said and twisted it into a racist commentary. Typical media here. Typical media. We all know that that's not what I intended to.
No, I'm not saying that's what you. I'm just letting you know how that sounded.
I gotcha. I've never heard silverback used in a racist way. I get it. I do get it because gorilla. I get it. I get the time. I get the link. But anyways,
again, something else that we do not agree with.
Yeah, the boys oftentimes are given like a dap and a pat on the back, like, "Hey, way to go! You slayed that. You slayed that cougar killer." And the guy's saying like, we need to create more focus and energy on. It's still a pervert. It's still a miscreant. It's still, a pedophile. Pedophilia is based on age ranges. It's not based on genders. So this woman
I agree.
defiles 5 boys.
And he wants there to be outrage. But I agree with this guy, right? Like, it's not okay, right? But at the same time, if I'm a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old and my mom's or my friend's hot mom tries to seduce me,
I can think of several off the top of my head that I would have taken a run at with 0 questions.
Yeah.
Like not that's like, what time's your husband coming home? Not like, what if I lose a friend? Just like, oh, here it is. I saw this in American Pie. Let's go.
Yeah. Like,
I'm going to call you Mrs. Stifler.
Yeah. That I'm aware of, no teenage boy would be like, oh my God, I was so... Like, that's their dream, is to bang their friend's hot mom.
Yeah, I get it. But by that by that same logic, there are 16-year-old girls whose dream is to bang their male teacher who's in his 40s. You know what I mean? So why is it glorified when he does it, but she is ostracized when she does it, or vice versa? The adults, this mom is like, yeah, whatever, you got banged by 5 dudes, good for you, it was fun night. But the teacher is like, okay, well, you can never work in teaching again because you're a horrible human being. They got to be on the same level, and I'm going to say we should put an axe to all of it. Though I do think this Floridian,
I say you let the girls bang the teachers too. Fuck it.
Well, sure, if it's mutual. I mean,
What the fuck's the difference?
yeah, I guess. Well,
let's put it this way, right?
Because 18's an arguable adult at this point. 16, I don't think there's an argument.
Here's the thing, Pat. This is the way I look at it. Say my wife, right, she very well could have been my teacher when I was 15 years old. That would have put her at 30.
Oh my Christ. I love that this example actually works.
I mean,
she is in fact in the care of students. You are in fact 15 years younger than her. Let's fucking go.
Like, I'm living that teenager's dream.
Oh my God.
It just took me until I was 25 to find her.
You married her. You married Mary Kay Letourneau. Oh my God.
I
know. I did call you after I watched this video, and I said, you know who the real loser out of those 5 kids is that got to bang the mom?
And I totally agree with you. Is the daughter.
The daughter. The daughter's the loser because the daughter, I think, is at a substantially elevated risk of running into a situation where there's a guy drinking. He is. Erica said that wouldn't have happened. Erica, welcome to the show. Tom just got himself into some trouble.
It wouldn't have happened then, but what I'm saying is I'm living that dream. Because trust me, if I knew you back then, I would have tried.
Anyways, the daughter could be at a party. Somebody could have a little too much alcohol, a little liquid courage, try to make sexual advances at the daughter. The daughter could deny those advances, and I could easily see, especially somebody who's inebriated, saying, well, your mom would do it, so you're going to do it too. I know what kind of family you're in. This daughter's at an elevated risk for rape. She's the real loser here.
So guys,
not only that,
I have an answer.
Oh, go ahead.
From the earlier thing. She would not call. She probably knew that she was going to be on the show.
Moody is she. Pronouns, pal.
Yes. But she has disconnected my camera from her phone.
Because she saw your penis?
I don't know. I said, did you disconnect my camera from your phone? She said, yes. I said, okay, good. No reason. And she said, ew.
She definitely saw your naked ass.
That's probably what she did. It was like, oh shit. Fucking Wednesday morning when I was getting ready for work, I ran down there naked and she saw me.
She was like, why do they have a hot bag of garbage in their kitchen? Why not take it out of the garbage can? And then it moved and she was like, oh my God, it's Tom's ass. Oh my God.
So anyway, I did the app. Once you guys got back, and the next day I said, oh, she said hi to the dog the next day, I guess. I don't know. I was busy. Anyway, yeah, I feel bad for the daughter. Like you said, she's elevated because the mom's a hoe. So now the daughter is going to be labeled as a hoe.
Yeah.
Which, who knows? We're not saying that the daughter's not a hoe and she likes to date. I feel bad for the daughter because maybe she wanted to bang one of those 5 people. Dude, imagine if the
my God, yeah.
Because
what if one of those 5 guys was her love interest?
Sergeant Slaughter. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. I thought you meant the wrestler. I was like, well, of course, everybody knows who Sergeant Slaughter is.
No. I saw this when I was working yesterday, and I said, that's every high schooler's dream is to bang their friend's mom. He goes, that's the, what do you say? That's the dream, and then the mission becomes to bang the daughter and the mom together.
Oh, together?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't even consider that. Sure.
Together, separate, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, maybe for one of these lucky boys, when this girl gets out of serving her 15-year sentence, hopefully she doesn't look too haggard and he could do both that. Maybe one of the 5 guys that banged there will marry the daughter with the hopes of this happening.
I gotta tell you, these 5 kids, if they were if they had a decent set of parents among them, just one positive role model in their life, that person would direct the 5 of them to go open up a Five Guys Burgers and Fries and run this story to millions. Five Guys Burgers, Fries, and your mom. That's what they could call it. Like just one fucking decent person. Direct these kids. Show them the light.
It's funny that you call that a decent person, Pat.
Well, I'm just saying, something has happened. Now, how can we turn a negative into a positive?
And
boom.
And fucking cash in.
What's great is like, this is playing out in my head now. And you walk in the door and they're like, would anybody like free nuts? Like that chick's mom? Because there's so
They got
much.
like a fucking a sign hanging above all the nuts in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what this woman's
These
name
nuts
was.
were locally picked from whatever that girl's name's mom is.
Yeah. Oh my God. You take a bite of your sandwich and, you get a little on your shirt. They're like, oh, look at that. Dripping all over your chest, just like her mom. Like, they could really use this to their advantage. They're at an age where opening a business is not unrealistic. By the time it's all open and actually running, these guys could really profit off of this. Moving on to the next story.
So, hold on. Are we on the same page that we don't feel bad for the boys, right?
I do feel bad for the boys because if this was one of their first sexual experiences, I assume that they could be stuck in a situation where they're only attracted to older women, right? Because there's nothing comfortable. They're doing this in front of their friends. I guarantee you one of them was uncomfortable with what was going on and did it because of peer pressure. And that's at least one of them. Never in my life have I been like, hey, after you 4 guys fuck that female, I would love to fuck her as well. Never. I've never felt that way about anyone. You put Yasmin Bleeth in front of me, we can reconvene this conversation.
So the way it went down was she asked one of them to help her in the shower.
And then she ended up having sex with 2 of them.
No. She started having sex with that one while 2 others watched. And then she had sex with them. So, I mean, I see what you're saying. And I agree with you. Like, yeah, that kind of sucks. But at the same time, like, I don't think that kid's scarred from that.
The only reason that I don't feel bad at some level for the 5 boys is I don't think, at least I myself, in an uncomfortable situation, could not maintain an erection. Like, you can't rape me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, at least a woman couldn't rape me. I mean, a dude could just take advantage of me. I don't have to have a boner for a dude to rape me. Oh God, Tom just winked at me. What the fuck? No, obviously, if they're pitching wood, they're at least interested in what's happening in front of them.
How could you not be?
I don't know.
Especially at that age.
This is the era of pictures and video. You know what I would fucking love? I would love to serve on that jury because you'd get to see naked pictures of the mom. Like, I'm curious. I'm curious how good looking this woman looks naked.
I mean, based off the pictures or like the video, she was not fairly attractive.
Well, she wasn't hideous. And you're getting a mugshot photo, so she's not made up or anything, which after a shower, she's probably not made up either. But at least she smelled good. She was clean.
Yeah.
I'm not sure clean is the right word. Something tells me she wasn't very clean.
She was a hoe. Anyway, back to what we were doing here. So you want to get into 3-finger news?
Yeah. So here's what I did. I jumped online, and what I was looking for was just a couple things to talk about, man. I wanted a couple newsworthy articles that we could bring up and discuss. And the first one I found was, this is the title. It's How Crime Stats Lie and What You Need to Know to Understand Them. That's by Priya Krishnakumar of CNN. It's from July 14th, 2021.
This is an old ass
No,
article.
brand new. Tom, you and I are going to skip down to the end where this is the end of the article. We're not going to read the article because it's very wishy-washy. But the last paragraph that I've highlighted says, "What we know." Now, pay attention here. What we know. This is newsworthy. We needed to bring this to the people to just deliver justice. We have freedom of speech. Let's teach these people something they don't already know. What we know. Only specific crimes have increased. This is over 2020. It's important to be clear about what types of crime are on the rise. Several forms of property crime, including robberies, residential burglaries, and larceny, declined in 2020 and continued to go down in the first quarter of 2021, according to a report from the National Commission on COVID-19 and Criminal Justice, continuing a multi-year downward trend. Well, fucking duh. So what you're saying is that when everybody was told to stay in their homes, less homes got robbed. You fucking moron. This was newsworthy. Hey, turns out when you're driving your car, you're less likely to have items stolen out of your car. Well, thank you for that. You know what? You are so much safer from plane crashes if you stay on the ground. The odds of you dying in a plane crash are very limited, other than if a plane crashes literally into you. I want to go through her catalog of work, Priya, and see what other doozies she's dropped on us over the years. I mean, having more money leads to more wealth, more runs scored in a football game, increased wins. Like,
More
wow,
runs.
I was going baseball and then said football. Dude, I got football on the mind. Yeah, what? This is a whole fucking article. You can see there's multiple paragraphs here. It's a whole fucking article that concludes with, in 2020, when everybody was in their homes, the odds of you getting something stolen from your home went down.
I think the main part here that you're glancing over is continuing a multi-year downward trend.
Yeah, 2020 and 2021. Those are the multi-years.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
just what the fuck?
She's the John Madden of news, Mason said.
She is. She's the Priya fucking Madden. Thank you. We have one more article. This is a head-to-head grudge match between Facebook and the White House. Before we get to that, Tom, you want to play a game?
Let's do it.
Animal Family game coming up. I'm not going to lie, Tom. I was much nicer to you in this Animal Family game than I was to Mason. I have compiled.
Is it because you don't think I'm as smart as Mason?
It's because I don't think you have the knowledge of animal families that Mason has.
Well, clearly Mason didn't have them either.
And he bombed. Well, okay, so Mason went 2 of 10. I at least want you to be close to winning the game, right? I got 6. And I have gifted you at least 1, possibly 2. Okay. So the rule, the way to win is as follows. The same as when Mason did it. 50%. If you can get 50% correct, you're winning. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the 6 families, and then I'll give you the 6 animals. Okay. Tom, your families: a fever, a pod, a family, a colony, a swarm, a set. Okay. Fever, pod, family, colony, swarm, set. Tom, I'm going to give you your animals.
Okay.
Bats, beavers, bees, badgers, stingrays, dolphins. Tom, for Mason, I wrote them down. Would you like me to write them down?
Family of dolphins. A swarm of bees.
Hold on. Family of dolphins, you're 0 for 1. Swarm of bees, you're 1 for 2.
What was the first one?
A fever?
That's the beavers.
Fever of beaver? That's great. No, that's 1 for 3, but that's amazing. It should be.
What's the other one?
I got beaver fever.
What's the other 3?
Pod.
What do I have left for animals?
Let's see. Bats, beavers, bees, badgers, stingrays, and dolphins.
What was it again?
A pod.
Beavers.
Okay. You are 1 for 4.
Oh boy.
You got to get the next 2 right. You have
What are they?
a colony and a set.
colony of. Run over them again.
Bats, beavers, bees, badgers, stingrays, dolphins. Is it a colony of bats,
No.
a colony of beavers, a colony of bees, a colony of well, it can't be bees. You got a swarm of bees. A colony of badgers, a colony of stingrays, or a colony of dolphins?
So I feel like a colony would be an insect.
Because a colony of ants is a thing.
Yes. So I don't know. What's the next? What's the last one?
A set. A set of bats, a set of beavers, a set of badgers, a set of stingrays, a set of dolphins.
Set of dolphins.
That is incorrect. You are 1 of 5.
So if I get one, I tie Mason.
Actually, you already tied Mason. He had 10.
Yeah. So
if you go 2 of 5, you're at 40%. He finished at 20%.
oh yeah. Here we go.
So you're back to a colony.
A pod of dolphins.
Holy fuck. That is correct. Now, you already guessed pod, so I just assumed you left it in the...
No, it's a pod of dolphins for
It
sure.
is a pod of dolphins.
For sure.
For
What's the-
sure. You
what's-
piece of shit.
What's the other one?
Well, you've already
A
guessed 6
family of
times.
beavers.
You've already guessed 6 times.
A family of beavers.
Tom, can you now see my fucking tablet?
It's a family of beavers.
You were correct, but you've already guessed the 6 times. You finished 2 of 5.
Come on,
2
let
of
me
6.
let me
You
finish
finished 2 of
this.
6.
What else do I have left? I'm gonna try and get them all right. I should get multiple guesses.
Where are you seeing the answers? That's what I'm
Well,
curious
Mason gave me a pot of dolphins, so I figured that one out. But then I thought about it. So if it wasn't dolphins, it had to be beavers. So I got that one right. And then what do I have left?
A fever,
A fever of
a colony.
a colony of bats.
There's no fucking way you can't see what I'm doing right now. There's no fucking...
It makes sense.
I'm looking all over. Is there a mirror somewhere?
No.
This is my house. I should know where the secret compartment
It's a
is.
colony of bats.
If you pull a book off the shelf and a door opens,
What's
I'm
left?
killing you.
What's left? I got 2 left, right? So that's 4 out of 6.
A fever and a set.
And what are my animals left? A fever of. Man, I want to say I got stingray. And what's the other one?
Badgers.
A set of badgers.
There's no fucking way you can't see what's going on.
And then a fever of stingrays.
Did I lower it?
Fucking nice! I got them all right.
No. Well,
Woo!
first off, you were
Thanks.
33%. You lost the game.
But listen, more importantly, the only one I needed was the pot of dolphins, and then I got them all right.
You saw my tablet, yes?
I did not see your time. I swear to God, on
Where's the
everything.
reflection?
Pat,
You went from 1 of 5 to then nail 6 out of 6.
You never had that happen where like
Where I cheated? Absolutely,
I
sure.
did not cheat. Mason gave me one. I appreciate it, Mason. You finally contributed to the show.
Hey,
And
Lush came over the other day with one of his sons, okay? And it's me, Lush, Miss Elizabeth, and Lush's son. And we're playing Uno at my kitchen table. And what's behind Lush and Noah is the
there's a mirror, right?
yeah. But I haven't set this up on purpose. The mirror's there all the time. So Lush calls Uno, but throws his hands up when he says Uno, and I see his fucking card. Not because I was trying, not because I was cheating,
So you fucking cheated.
but I'm next, and I have a wild in my hand, and I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? Lush did not win the game.
That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. I did not cheat. Mason did give me a pot of dolphins, and then from there I got the rest right.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm 6 for 6 with only
You only took 34 guesses. You
no,
were good.
I got 10 guesses.
Well, he got 10 guesses on 10 animals.
I understand.
You got 6 guesses. You were 2 of 6.
I
You
was
got 6 guesses. You were 2 of 6.
and then went 4 for 4.
And then, yes, after you had already done that.
So
you
I got
were
10 guesses, and I got it. So that's 60% minus. I think we found our new game.
There's only so many animal families out there, bro.
I'm pretty proud of myself.
Anyway,
Anyway,
last newsworthy article, Dip Dizzy Whistle. We're switching segments again.
It looks like there's 2 here.
That is because I have taken
it's a
the White
response.
House first, and we're going to talk about what the White House had to say about Facebook. Then I've taken Facebook, who Facebook hit the WTF button and then the FTW button and said, what the fuck? Nah, fuck the world, bro. You're not coming after us. So, this was published 6 hours before I covered
I'm really
it.
glad you brought this up because I've been hearing a lot about this, and I wonder how you're going to present this.
We'll see. The article says the White House doubles down on its harsh criticism of Facebook following Biden's killing remarks. Biden on Friday accused Facebook of killing people by way of coronavirus misinformation. Oh my God, the press secretary there, Jen Psaki, Jen Psaki, says the administration is working with Facebook to limit COVID misinformation. Now, there's actually, Tom, there's a surprise in here for you. That
can we just real quickly before we go too far into misinformation explain what misinformation is?
Sure, go ahead.
Misinformation is not necessarily false information. It's information that they don't agree with.
Okay.
I think it's very important to state in this that misinformation is not necessarily false information. I cannot hammer that home enough.
Well, and so not that it's on the same subject, but it's also noteworthy. In California, we saw on Friday, the mask mandate is back. So this is a perfect example. We have the CDC. We have these people in California saying from the beginning of every fucking problem that exists, follow the science. We don't believe in God. We believe in science. We follow the science. We have the CDC saying masks are not at all necessary in public if you're not if you're vaccinated. You're no longer required to wear a mask. And the LA County in California says masks are back on. The mandate's back on. Fuck science. We're going to do what we feel is right. So all these people who have consistently said facts over feelings, and I have heard that fucking term until everybody saying it turned blue in the face from saying it and me choking the life out of them. Because it's such a hypocritical concept. Well, the concept actually is great, but it's not. It's not facts over feeling. It's feelings over facts. LA County has proven it, and the White House and Facebook are going to have a little dispute. So, a Biden administration source revealed to Fox News on Saturday that the very public call out of Facebook followed months of frustration with the platform for failing to stomp out dangerous information about the vaccinations that have spread online. So the White House is saying publicly, they're saying this is the press secretary, this is the voice of the White House. Okay, she's saying, we have repeatedly asked Facebook to stop people from saying these things. Okay, we're working with them. We're working diligently to stop these things from being said. The White House has been seeking help from Facebook and other social media sites since February on stopping misinformation from going viral, such as the myth that getting the shot will cause infertility. While Facebook has made positive public statements on how they've partnered with the government and taken aggressive action to curb vaccine information, the White House believes that the big tech company has fallen short. This is a quote from the Biden administration. They've been withholding information on what the rules are, what they have put in place to prevent dangerous misinformation from spreading, and how they measure whether it's working. The tensions reached a boiling point amid the spread of the highly contagious Delta variant vaccine. Vaccine hesitancy among young people and polls showing the majority of unvaccinated people believe myths about the vaccine. Okay. I mean, we're on the same page so far?
Yeah.
As coronavirus cases are on the rise and vaccination rates have slowed in the United States, the White House launched this week an effort to crack down on misinformation, starting with a warning from U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy. That's literally the worst name in the history of naming people, Vivek Murthy, on Thursday that bogus information about coronavirus is an urgent threat to public health. Surgeon General warning. We can't get it on the food that Monsanto's got their hands in, but we can get it on the words that are said on fucking Facebook. The Surgeon General's office issued a report titled Confronting Health Misinformation that makes recommendations for social media platforms to impose clear consequences for accounts that repeatedly violate platform policies. So, the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, also announced Thursday that the Biden administration has been flagging content for Facebook to remove. I'm going to stop there. Facebook is saying, I'm sorry, the government is saying And the Surgeon General, who is that's part of the government as far as I'm concerned, is saying, we're saying Facebook, you need to punish people for the things that they say. We need to know how you're going to punish them. We need to know how severe the punishment's going to be. We want clear outlined rules. And if somebody says something that falls outside of those rules, we want to know how they're going to be punished. The next sentence is one of the most terrifying things I've ever read in my entire life. It's actually, this sentence is under a picture, right? So I don't copy the pictures and bring them over to the timeline, but it's a picture, and it says, critics slam Biden's administration reported plan to monitor vaccine misinformation through text messages. I'm sorry, in text messages. So the Biden administration has started, and here's the thing, I'm on the fence about how I feel about should they be able to censor what people say on Facebook? Because you're not necessarily limiting free speech, because what you're limiting is free speech on Facebook, right? So if you say, yeah, you can't really say that on Facebook, I get it, because you also can't yell out fire in a crowded building. It's dangerous. Misinformation can be dangerous because people are stupid. We believe what we read and what we hear.
Well, so here's the thing. I agree with you. The problem is, who's determining that it's misinformation? Now, false information is dangerous.
No, and I agree. But because they're saying on Facebook, they're not saying you can't say that. They're saying you can't say it on Facebook. So I'm on the border. Like you haven't won me over.
I totally agree with you, because at the end of the day, Facebook is its own private entity and can determine what you can and cannot put on Facebook.
Yeah. And if Fuckerface wants to agree to censor people, it's his fucking prerogative. It's his fucking site.
Yeah.
That's like me and you saying, when you come on the show, you can't say purple because, Tom doesn't like the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well then we're not censoring speech. We're just saying, don't say purple on the fucking show.
Yeah.
Don't give misinformation on the site.
Yeah.
Now, the administration has a fucking plan to monitor your text messages to make sure that you don't spread misinformation. You know what? Let's call it spade a spade. They want to make sure you don't say certain things to each other in the privacy of your own conversation. I got to tell you, if that's not the most communist motherfucking thing I don't think I've ever used the word communist to describe anybody in America on the show. Ever. I don't think I've done it. That is like Kim Jong-un read that and immediately became rock hard and just walked off to his chambers to masturbate. He was like, oh, they're in. We got them, those fuckers. It's fucking terrifying. We've all talked about, they watch your cameras, turn your fucking Xbox Connect thing around so they don't watch you like dancing in your home. They're listening, all this stuff. Nope. Now the government's saying it. We're listening. We're probably going to stop you from talking to each other in the privacy of your own home. If I'm okay with Facebook because it's Facebook, that's one thing. There's no way. We talk about this. This is Facebook is the foot in the door. We go, okay, I can kind of see that. That's fine. Yeah, limit that speech. That's not a violation of free speech. This is a violation of free speech. It is because they got their foot in the door. There wasn't enough pushback from Facebook and from the general public saying, absolutely not. You will not stop me from saying what the fuck I want to say. So now they're saying, well, since you didn't stop us before, we're going to push this envelope as far as we can. It's fucking terrifying.
Pat, have you watched anything on Sweden yet?
Not yet.
I think you should watch it. Thursday's show.
Okay.
Or Wednesday's show.
We're skipping down. There's a bunch of, it's kind of just goes back and forth. But basically, Republican Lance Gooden from Texas said, Democrats are all about the First Amendment, except when they don't like what's being said. I don't even need to look at the feed, okay? I'm not even going to look at the feed, but I can guarantee you Mason is currently typing. There's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate.
Facts.
And that is exactly what's going on here. There's a difference between censoring what people say for safety and censoring what people say for whatever other fucking reason you have. I don't think that you should be able to yell fire in a crowded building. I don't think that you should be able to lie on social media if the site owner says he's not okay with it.
But here's the thing, right? Like, this is my problem with the Facebook thing, right? Is who is determining what you're saying is a lie? They're basically saying we're going to censor things that we don't like you talking about. And while I agree with you, Pat, it's their site. They can make that call, right? They can tell you what you can and can't say on their site.
Here's why
But
it's not a violation of your rights.
I
because you
understand
still have the ability to go, I'm not posting on Facebook anymore. I'm out.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But at the same time, who is determining it's misinformation?
I agree. But here, so again, so this is like the stand your ground law, right? You can shoot somebody once you're defending yourself, once you have no other option. Okay, so that's fine. And I agree with the law. You can defend yourself once you have no other option. The government gives cell phones to people in need. True or false?
They used to. I don't know if they still do.
They still do. The government will give you a cell phone if you need it, to communicate with your family. So now we've established, because now we're talking black and fucking white. We know that I want black and white. Black and white, cell phones are a necessity for living in the modern era, correct?
Sure.
Okay. Now you're saying you cannot say certain things on cell phones. Well, now that is a clear, very clear violation of my fucking First Amendment. If I have to have a cell phone to live and I can't say what I want on the cell phone, fuck you.
I'm with you. I think if they were going to, that they should only be able to monitor the cell phones that they give out for free to these people in.
I don't think they should be able to monitor those. If it's a necessity, if you're giving that to somebody out of necessity.
Well, no, absolutely. It's their fucking cell phone. They can monitor it.
All this fucking time we've given.
You know what the difference is? I paid for my fucking cell phone. They can't monitor what I fucking say on it.
That's true. But those same people, okay, who we've given money for food, for example, we've given them food stamps.
They limit what they can eat.
To a degree.
Yeah, there's certain things that you can't buy with food stamps, which is the dumbest fucking shit ever. Check out this. You ready for this?
Yeah.
In the state of Connecticut.
Oh, I already know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
You can buy. So I used to work at Cumberland Farms. You can come in and pay for a hot coffee with your EBT card.
Yep.
Cannot buy an iced coffee.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because one's cold, one's hot. So you can buy hot, you can't buy cold. But you can also buy all the fucking candy you want with a fucking EBT card.
Well, you can't eat hot candy, it would melt. So I understand.
No, but what I'm saying is they can stop you from buying a cold iced coffee, which you shouldn't be using your fucking EBT card for anyway. But they won't stop you from buying fucking truckloads of candy, which you should be buying fruits and vegetables for your fucking kids, and they don't stop that. These fucking people, Pat. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to snap.
Yeah.
You got me off on a totally different fucking tangent about our government and how fucking retarded they are.
So, Gooden goes on to say.
You want to know why I can buy candy, Pat, and why I'm fat?
Because you work?
Because I have a fucking job!
That's fair. Gooden goes on to say, normalizing government conclusion with big tech to censor anything they deem to be misinformation actually puts our First Amendment rights at jeopardy. Obviously, he fucking nailed it. Because my First Amendment rights should be very, very, very loose. There should be some limitation. Again, screaming fire in a public building, very dangerous. If we talk about this all the time, my rights and freedom end where your safety gets violated. That's it.
Or where it impedes on other people.
Yeah. So if I'm screaming fire in a public building, there's a chance somebody could die because of my lie. That's a public building. We're talking we're not talking about a public building that's closed for the night and one of the janitors yells out fire.
Like, you can yell fire in your own building and like your house.
Yeah, absolutely. In the privacy of my own home, I can yell out fire. Watch.
I do it all the time.
My house is on fire. Okay.
My fire detector does it for me. He goes, fire, fire.
Yeah, it's fucking awful.
Erica says, so then there comes what misinformation they monitor. Will they monitor these conspiracy theorists?
Erica is saying that. She doesn't even know. Joe Biden is actually sitting in the White House right now sniffing his computer monitor because he's watching you grope Erica's titties from this morning. Because he's already rocked into your fucking doggy door cam. Because they're monitoring that and they're censoring it. They're like, Tom, stop touching her.
Yeah, facts.
She could have been your teacher.
Classic.
So Facebook's response. Facebook says, and kudos to Facebook, because in a world where we lay down for the government too often, Facebook says this. In private exchanges, the Surgeon General has praised our work, including our efforts to inform people about COVID-19. They knew what we were doing. The White House is looking for scapegoats for missing their vaccine goals. A Facebook spokesperson told that to NBC's Dylan Byers. They go on to say, the fact is that more than 2 billion people have viewed authoritative information about COVID-19 and vaccines on Facebook, which is more than any place on the internet. More than 3.3 million Americans have also used our vaccine finder tool to find out where and how to get a vaccine. The facts show that Facebook is helping save lives, period. So the government is legitimately looking for a scapegoat. They say, hey, listen, this is on Facebook because we're telling them to flag more stuff. And Facebook's like, assholes, we can't do your job entirely. Like we have to, at some point, we have to also be a social media platform that allows people to say what they want to say. We can't go around and if somebody says, if you start a sentence with I feel or I think, that should not be censored. I think that this vaccine could cause infertility. Well, okay, that's what you think. But is the government saying you can't think? You can't feel?
Yeah, you're not allowed to have your own opinion.
Is that what they meant by facts over feelings? Maybe that's what they meant by facts over feelings. So you can't feel. You have to go strictly by facts. Kim Jong-un, this is a proud fucking day for you. You know what? Congratulations. Because you're winning the war currently, and America's losing, and good for you.
Pat,
I hope we come back and kick your ass. I do. But it's not going that way.
Pat, here's the thing. This is honestly what I fear. And this is why I pushed the Sweden story on you, that I want you to watch this documentary. Because I promise you, man, we're at a point where, and it's not even about politics at this point, right? It's about what are you going to stand up for, and what are you going to like. So we were going to talk about the shit going on in Cuba right now, and I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and they brought up a great fucking point. I think every single person that supports shit like this, where they are allowed to censor what we can do, or the government should pay for fucking everything and tell you what you can do and can't do and where you should work and all that shit, should go to fucking Cuba and live in Cuba, and we will take all the people from Cuba that don't want to be there anymore and let them live free in the United States of America.
That sounds like a great foreign exchange program.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should be offended by that. Honestly, we're giving everybody what they want. The people who want freedom can come to the land of the free. The people who want a dictatorship can go
or
see what dictates
socialism
like.
Or fucking communism, all that shit. Go live there. Go see how that is. You know what another thing is? And I get what you're saying. Like, so we had a small discussion off the stream on Wednesday before when we were going to talk about this Cuban thing. The fact that the White House is saying, do not come here to seek asylum. But they were letting people from South America.
You said were.
Huh? No, they are letting people.
Okay.
They are letting people from South America flee into this country through the fucking Mexico border. And they're okay with that. But because people who want freedom will support the other side hands down. Hands down. They're saying, don't come here. If you're going to come here, take a fucking raft to Mexico and walk through that way. Good luck making it.
This is the Good Samaritan law. I think it still exists some places, doesn't exist other places. The Good Samaritan law, you are capable of swimming, and you see somebody drowning in a pond because they're not capable of swimming. It's on you to jump in and save them. If you're capable of helping a person who absolutely needs your help, there isn't another option. You are obligated to extend the hand. I fully support the Good Samaritan law. It's kind of like, if my brother, who's a nurse, is out at a restaurant and sees somebody choking to death, it's on him to give that person the Heimlich, right? Yeah. Like, that person should not die because he was off. You're like, oh, it's my lunch break. You know, I got better shit to do. No, I don't give a fuck. If you're capable of saving that person's life, save that person's life. So let's now take that a step further. You have people crying out for help. Their hands are extended. They're chanting USA. They're chanting freedom and liberty and justice for all in the fucking streets. And
using that American flag that fucking people here will stomp
American
on
flag.
and light on fire and say what a horrible fucking place this is. They're using that as their sign of freedom.
Yeah, it is absolutely. They're using the American flag to signify what they're looking for. This is what we want. The stars and bars. And the American government is like, hey, you know what I saw earlier? And they will bring up anything that they can to not talk about what's going on in Cuba. They have no interest. They have no care. These people really get, and this was the conversation that Tommy and I had. We didn't cover the Cuba thing last episode because we're not exactly on the same page. But I honestly feel it is absolutely. Oh, now we are.
Well, so Pat, I was actually going to bring that up. Okay. My take on it was not our fucking problem. We have gotten into enough things that weren't our problem, and we just felt the need to intervene.
Sure.
Right?
This ain't one of them.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Right? That we should. And listen, I still believe that there's a lot of things going on in this country that we need to fix before we can help other people. But what I'm saying is we send fucking 300 people down there, 300 troops, take out their fucking government and give them freedom.
Yeah, we have... we boast about how great our military is. We boast about how great our country is, but
because guaranteed half the people in their military are doing it because they're forced to.
Well, there are people directly tweeting and whatevering, whatever social media platform they can use to the Cuban military saying, listen, this is on you guys. Like, you gotta overturn that fucking government. You can't all be bad guys. And I think when some support arrives, that's the ticket here, right? It's not that they're not comfortable overthrowing their government. It's not that they're not.
They're scared.
Yeah, they're fucking terrified. It's just them. They're out on an island by themselves, no food, no water, no raft, and they're just saying, "Could somebody send us a fucking care package? You drop a box, and we'll make this happen." Right? Just give us what we need. And we're like, meh, We're rebuilding the wall. We changed our mind on that. I don't know. We got stuff going on. We got a party this weekend. Gonna take up my time.
Yeah, listen. I'm a firm believer, and we shouldn't put our fucking nose where it doesn't belong. And I still believe like this really isn't our fight, right? But part of America is to spread freedom across the world, right?
Then let me ask you, because we're gonna do a little correlation game. You see a defenseless child or animal, you pick. You don't know the child, you don't know the animal. And they're getting their asses handed to them by an adult. They're out in public. Nobody else is around. Not your fucking business. Not your kid, not your animal. Do you feel obligated to inject yourself into that situation and provide whatever protection you can for the defenseless victim?
You're not gonna like this answer, Pat.
You're not gonna. I'm gonna fuck you up. If you see a man beating, let's call it a 10-year-old child, just beating the shit out of him at a park, you don't get involved in that situation.
What did the kid do to make him beat his ass?
You don't know. You have no idea.
See, that's the problem, Pat. Maybe that 10-year-old deserves an ass beating.
There's not a situation in the world where a 10-year-old deserves to be beaten by an adult.
Is he being beaten or is he being punished? I just said he's
having his ass handed to him.
Well, so what, you get a couple whacks in the face, or
no,
is he like on top of him beating him, punching him?
We're talking about this child or animal, their life being in jeopardy.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I would feel the need to. How big is the guy?
You're such a piece of shit. My point being, obviously, that Cuba is defenseless. The people of Cuba who are looking for independence, who are looking for freedom of speech, who are looking for all the glorious things we get.
I agree with you, right?
Okay.
I do agree with you. But again, why is it always our... There's other free countries out there. And America is just the icon because We weren't even the first ones to do it.
You know why America's the icon? Because every time push comes to shove, America says, we'll fucking do it. Every time somebody has to inject themselves into what everybody else thinks is not our business, we go, fuck that. There's the difference between doing what's right and going above and beyond to make sure that wrong doesn't happen.
Pat,
We're not doing what's right by helping Cuba.
Pat, I just got a
You could
genius
argue
idea.
that. What's that? You want to go to Cuba and fight the rebels? Or fight
Yes.
with the rebels?
Yes.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Like, I'm dead serious. I think we should get 300-400 people together. We get on a fucking boat and we fucking
I
sail
would
over
gladly
there.
liberate Cuba. I'd be so excited.
This is
for
our
the
chance
opportunity.
to. This is our chance to make our mark in history.
Man, if you know what would be crazy is if there was a way to, because you're talking about mobilizing 300-400 people. If there was a way for the government to like train people to do this kind of thing for us, if the government could have what did the guys that used to fight wars, the military, if the government had a military, right, and if they could command that military to go to other places, not just defend home but foreign
Like almost
enemies
like
as well.
almost like send them to like Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, no, just like that. Right after 9/11, we saw a potential threat to us, so we defended ourselves. If we could, in a very similar way, send defense to defenseless,
Oh, like back in the 70s, you mean Vietnam?
a little bit different, but similar.
Yeah.
Vietnam was not popular.
Well, I guarantee you this will not be popular.
Yeah, this may not be popular as well. But yes, if we could go over there and just provide these people who don't have a way to live a free life, man, what a beautiful system that would be. We should actually create that. You could break it into branches. You could have people go by land, by sea, by air. It would be
Even space.
Think of how much tax revenue you could charge to create this environment, and then you would have all that money to use it to initiate the type of attacks that we're talking about. You know what? I would even pay that tax out of my income. You could call it a federal income tax, and I would pay it for like by the hour. Like every hour that I work, I give them X amount.
What if you're salaried?
I would give it weekly, but again, it would have to be kind of based on like how much money I make for the week. You know, I pay X amount of time. You could
Like
put
a
it into like
percentage.
brackets.
Oh yeah.
Man, America really missed the mark on this one.
You know what I really think they should do, Pat?
What's that?
Straight across the board, so there's no more.
A flat tax?
Yeah. So no matter how much money you make, you pay the same tax as everybody else. And
It's difficult, man. It's difficult.
It's really not. It's
It
really
is
not.
because we give tax incentives, even in like in the workplace. We give, we want the guy who makes all the money at the top to pay more money in taxes, but the guy at the top is also
Spending the most money.
well, he's taking the risk, 100% of the risk. He's investing money, he's matching 401ks, he's paying for healthcare, he's doing a lot of things. He's covering insurance. So if we pay a flat tax, do you also feel like employees should then pay a flat portion of the company's fees?
No, they're helping. First off, they're helping the company be successful. The employees is what makes the company. It's not the employee that makes the company.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
So
the
just to be
employees, the employees make the company. The owner doesn't make the company. You
No
get what I
doubt,
mean?
I completely agree. But the
listen,
employee's
but
ability
while-
to help the
so
company
while-
grow is facilitated
So while
by the blanket of comfort that the owner is providing.
So while I agree with you, there has to be a way to charge a flat tax and give not individuals a break, like, because the owner of that company still has to pay taxes, obviously,
Right.
And they're going to make more money, so they're going to pay more in
So
taxes.
what you're saying is the tax write-offs would come on
the
the
business,
risk of the business, the insurance of the business, all of the things that a business pays for. We would give breaks
I'm just
based
saying-
on that.
Well, but see, the business is its own entity that pays taxes. The owner
Sure.
of that business is not paying the taxes. They are, but they're not paying the taxes for the business.
Yeah, I don't
So-
know how that. I'm sure we could talk to. I'm not sure what size business we'd want to have a conversation with, but kind of like what you're saying. Is there a better way for where you don't get cheated? for being a business owner. For you being wealthy, I don't care that you get cheated. Fuck you. Like, I don't care that you make, millions less than you were making. What I care about is if you're using that money constructively to trickle down, right? Is there a safe way and a comfortable way and a fair way to say you made X, but you spent X, so we're going to give you X break?
See, I think we're talking about it two different ways.
Well, no, because what I'm saying is the NFL player who makes $26 million doesn't necessarily get any of those breaks unless the NFL player, owns a chain of Red Robins. I don't give a fuck. You owe more to the government because you make more. But the business owner who makes if the business owner makes that same $26 million, but then has to pay for all kinds of insurance for his employees or her employees, has to pay for...
Yeah, but the business owner... So what you're assuming that business owner is... the business itself takes a profit, and the owner gets paid through the business, just like an employee would. His pay through the company should be taxed the same as everybody else, and then the business itself gets the tax write-off.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, because the owner has the ability to choose his own salary.
Jeff Bezos, if he's making $3 billion a year, should get taxed the same flat rate that I do, and then Amazon itself gets the tax write-offs.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day, Jeff Bezos still gets. But you get what I'm saying?
I do. And I completely agree, because the Jeff Bezos also... to an extent,
employs more fucking people than anybody on the planet.
Well, no, I was going to say chooses his own salary.
Yeah,
I mean, he could say, I'm tired of getting rocked over the head by these taxes. I'm going to take $2 billion this year instead of $3.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. That's on you. You can choose to make less money, to be taxed less. So sure, I do agree that there's probably a better way. We got off onto a weird tangent here.
Yeah, I don't.
This somehow evolved from Cubans in the streets.
But it just goes to show you that our freedom is not perfect.
Our freedom at this point, I would say, is not guaranteed.
It's so anyway, Pat. The reason, and maybe I'm giving you guys yet another teaser for the Sweden thing. I really think that it's time for my whole thing after watching the Sweden thing is basically comes down to it's time for a fucking revolution, dude. It's time for us, the American people, to stand up to our government and say, no, motherfuckers, you work for us. That's how this is. You don't tell us what to do. We tell you what to do for us. That's how America is supposed to work.
The fact of the matter is they are public servants. I don't know if everybody's clear on that definition, but in the term servant, it means they serve the public. That's what they do. Monitoring my fucking text messages, and I gotta tell you, they are worthy of the White House's attention. The sexy ass pictures that Miss Elizabeth's sending me. If I was Joe Biden, I would just be firing off knuckle children all day. No, it's not fair that I should be cautious about what I say in the privacy of my own conversation, especially a one-on-one conversation, man. Even like a group text with your family. So, if where does this end? If I text,
that's the problem. It's the door opening to it'll never end, Pat.
Yeah,
and I really cannot stress it. This is why, listen, man. I'm not saying I want to go to war with I don't want to start a civil war. I don't want to start. I don't want to overthrow the government. But it's time for us to put in. Listen, I think this is a worthy cause we're dying for. You know what I mean? To protect my son and his future in this country.
Well, you wouldn't be the first, and you wouldn't be the last to die for the freedom of America.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. And I truly believe a majority of the people feel the way I feel, and the government is trying to silence those people. And listen, I'm not looking for tyranny. I'm not looking to overthrow the government. I'm not saying that I even want to be the president. What I'm saying is they work for us, that we elected them. This is why voting is important. If you don't like shit that's happening in your town, in your state, in your country, change the people you're voting for. You have the control. Now listen, there's other things going on, like voter ID and all that shit. The fact that fucking Texas is leaving the state, their fucking people leaving the state so they don't have to push through this bill about voter ID. The fact that they're saying, oh, you don't need an ID to vote. or you can't verify the last four digits of your social security number. Well, that's how we know that they're a fucking citizen and they're allowed to vote, is by the last four of their social. If they don't have a fucking social, they're not a fucking citizen.
Yeah,
It's very simple.
You can't get a loan. You can't write a check. You can't rent a car.
But like if you're Kamala Harris, you would say asking for IDs is a what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's like
a privatized decision.
No, it's not a privatized decision. She says that poor people don't have IDs. Is basically what she said. These communities of that are mainly African Americans or poor people do not have IDs because they can't afford them. Guess what they do have? Guess what they do have, Kamala? They have a fucking social security number.
Well, here's the thing. Because it doesn't have to be a driver's license. It could be a state ID as well. Very similar looking. It says not a license on it.
But what I'm saying is...
hold on.
She's saying they can't even afford those.
I agree. So, okay.
So make them fucking free.
No. To that point, some people can't afford IDs. If you continue to send billions of dollars overseas to help other countries resolve their issues, please take, let's call it $25 billion. Let's take $25 billion and let's get everybody an ID. You can use my tax money. You can use Tom's tax money. You can use everybody's tax money and get everybody an ID. That's all.
Sweden, baby. Sweden.
Hey, you know what people are going to need to get those fucking free IDs? Their fucking social security cards.
I don't think you need that for your ID.
How the fuck else would they know who you are?
You bring a piece of mail.
Perfect. Well, I believe at some point that was part of the voting thought was we'll just bring a piece of mail to verify who you are. One way or another, to get the free ID that they're saying would be required, and that's why we can't do it, one way or the other, they're going to have to go through a step that's already been proposed as a way to vote.
But I'm saying, like, if we do the social security number, the last four digits of your social, then it doesn't matter where you live or whatever. It's just a matter of, or like the homeless people. Well, homeless people can't vote. They don't have an ID or they don't have an address or whatever. Guess what they do have? They have a fucking social security number.
I hope that they have a $25 billion process to go get an ID, homeless or not. Go get your ID. Get it made up.
Anyway.
Man, you imagine how much laminate we would run through?
I don't know. I feel like most people have IDs.
Well, okay, but let's call that environmental. We identify as people who everybody we know has a driver's license, not just an ID. On a very rare occasion, you know somebody who's been in jail for a while or who lost their driver's license and they have a state ID. Maybe in the inner city that is less frequent. Maybe in the inner city it's harder to acquire an ID because of financial situations. Situations are situational. Let's change the situation. Let's pump revenue into that situation and resolve it swiftly, harshly, and I believe that there are states where you can get in a lot of trouble for being in public without identification.
Fact.
So let's make sure we don't set those people up for failure. I'm just worried about the general public. Let's make sure everybody has an ID.
You think it's going to cost $25 billion to get 330 million IDs made?
I don't give a fuck how much it costs. That was my point. I almost said $1 trillion, but I lowered it to $25 billion.
Well, they have no problem pumping fucking trillions of dollars into people who aren't working.
Whatever it costs to make America's voting system, which is...
Erica says, by the way, a non-driver ID is $28.
Some people don't have $28. I'll pay that tab.
Well, listen. What I'm saying is do 28 times $330 million.
And that would be getting everybody a new ID.
Yes, everybody. So 28 times 30, 330 million. Pat, you're pretty close. $9 billion.
$9 billion. I said 25. So you got to pay some people.
$9.2 billion.
You're going to have more people at DMV. The government can pay a couple people per DMV office. I don't know. But let's get everybody an ID. Let's protect. Listen, public safety. Are you fucking kidding me? If everybody walks around with ID, I bet you less people are playing the knockout game, walking around just knocking people out. Because if we catch you and you don't have your ID on you, your fucking punishment's doubled, buddy.
You know what we could do, Pat?
What's that?
When they're born, let's put a chip in them that scans, and now you got your ID on you at all times.
Tom, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not wholeheartedly against chipping people. I know that you were expecting me to be against it, but you know why I'm not wholeheartedly against chipping people?
Because we're not breaking the law?
No. Well, partially. Kidnappings? Well, well, you're a real fucking idiot if you're kidnapping some chipped kids, right? And you would have to the chipping process in my head to make it fair would have to be randomized. You know, not everybody's chip goes in their lower left arm, because if that's the case, kidnappers just cut off a lot of left arms. So you don't know where the chip is. There's no way to detect the chip. But on top of that, if you accuse me of committing a crime, you know, I drive to Alaska and murder somebody. I guess it'd be a tough drive, but I go to Alaska and murder somebody, and you know, you're like, hey, you know, we want you for this murder, and I'm like, well, dude, I was 30 miles away at a restaurant that night. Well, hold on, let's check your chip history. Boom, didn't commit the crime. You checked my chip history. I wasn't fucking there.
Or you just check the chip. Or you just check the chip around the person and see what other chips were there, and now you know who killed them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not, I realize that the idea of chipping people is like the scariest thing in the world to some people. I'm not wholeheartedly against it. You know why people chip their animals?
So they can find them.
For the protection of their animals. Just saying.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I really, because I don't break the law, really. Like, I speed and shit like that, but I don't commit, like, real heinous crimes that would land me in prison.
Bro, could you imagine? Holy fuck, I just thought of this. So you catch a DUI, right? You've been out drinking and driving, which to me is one of these things that I just don't understand how it keeps happening. And I think it's because we don't punish people harshly enough. Also, we should raise the drinking age. We should raise the driver's license age. There's a lot involved. Never mind any of that. You catch a DUI, okay? And then you're chipped. You go to the bar. You spend 3 hours at the bar. And then you start moving 35 miles an hour. Can you imagine if then they could send you a thing that says, like, you need to use your breathalyzer in your car. Use it now.
Well,
I understand. That's a little too communist for me.
do you want to know how we solve this? We just put breathalyzers in every car.
I'm 100% behind breathalyzers in cars. 100%. I shame on the car companies for not doing it yet, because there's one car company who could do that. It doesn't matter which one, Volvo, Ford, whatever. But if they said, we are the family vehicle, fuck everybody's feelings, we're the family vehicle. There's a breathalyzer in every vehicle. The car does not run without the seatbelts. You know, like all these little things that would be inconvenient for some people. Every one of our vehicles is tracked. It's a free app on your phone. You know what I mean? I would.
Erica says, why don't we just get barcodes like Idiocracy? That's pretty much what I said with the chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could get barcodes too, just tattoos.
That
That way they can't really track you.
Well, no, but again, the murderer, the rapist, the kidnapper could cut it off of you.
That's true. True.
It's where we're at, man. This is a long ass episode.
Yeah, man, we gotta go.
It took a weird turn.
Yeah, we did. We went totally off. I like going off script sometimes, though.
Yeah, we had a fucking formula. Tip Dizzy Whistle. Let us know what you think. We had segments, but then we went off on a little tailspin. This plane got out of control fast.
I liked it. Liked it a lot. Everybody, thanks for coming and watching. T-Doc, thanks for hopping in the chat there. Didn't expect you today. I'll hit you up later. We'll play some COD.
Number Niners?
I would invite Mason, but he won't come.
Oh, here we go. So
I'm sorry. The bearded gamer.
We made a sandwich of Mason hate for the show today. Started off hating Mason, ended hating Mason. Number Niners, I say, good day. It's hot as ball sack down here.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why you thought that fan was going to do anything for you. I have to put it in the reads because I never did them. YouTube, thanks for watching, brah. We'll catch you. Oh, my back hurts.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.